So we're dipping. Let's look at the heroes. Let's go to training. Go to training range. We'll talk about the heroes. I want to just pull up the thing while I talk about it. So my first thought on the hero, I would say, is that it's all about aggression, right? Like any hero that is like this, that is like, I would say these are heroes like Tracer and Genji, that do really, really high damage when left unchecked, but at the same time are really vulnerable and squishy. But they use their mobility to get around that. Like, you have to be aggressive on all those heroes. You have to, like, take the fight to the enemy team. Echo's kind of unique, though, compared to those heroes, in that she has the power to, like, solo burst people, where Tracer and Genji, there's certain fights you can't win. Like, you don't fight the D.Va at full HP. You just don't do that. Like, you just feed, right? So, but this hero is, like, you don't care. You can fight, it feels like almost anybody. Just because of the power of this beam. If you can get them below half, you can get the kill, because that beam is going to absolutely kill everyone else. Should you be able to copy Bob? No, probably not. This flight ability is really the key to everything, though. I would say these are the most important and complex skills, are the flight and the sticky bombs. Focusing beam is, like, kind of obvious, right? Like, get them below half, press E, and they just die so fast, because it does 200 DPS on low target, less than half targets. So the key, though, is never pressing your E unless they're actually below half. Like, if you use the E and then they're not actually below half, you just have to cancel it and give up, because it's not good. It's not as good as your primary fire is more DPS than the beam unless they're below half. So it's all about getting them low. As far as ultimate goes, so best heroes that it seemed to copy were, I think Roadhog was the best tank to copy, just because he's so tanky, and the self heal gives you, like, really high percentage. Like, you're just gonna get the ult every time if you get the self. Like, they have to decide. If they try to kill you and you self heal, then you're gonna have the ult. If they don't try and kill you, you're Roadhog running around killing people. So, like, Roadhog was a sick copy. I think Zarya was a great copy. Just get a grav, use a grav, win, right? And the Zarya bubbles are pretty good too. Winston was great just because you get a primal almost every time, and Winston's really effective at using his cooldowns and getting a primal and just going, and again, space created. And all of these tanks are so hard to bring down, you're really reliably going to get that ult off in your copy ult. Orisa was broken. Orisa Ryan, literally every tank is a good copy. I think Hammond might be the exception. Not great, maybe situationally, but pretty much any tank was, like, extremely powerful to swap to. Mostly because of that second life mechanic. That means that, like, just having a big health pool, not only do you have a second life, but also you're going to live long enough to actually use the ultimate. Sometimes DPS heroes were good. Like, sometimes McCree was good. Genji had some good moments, like getting blades really fast. Tracer should be really good, but I was Pepega on Tracer every time I became her. Soldier felt like the best DPS to become, but that's also because there's an Echo in every single game, and Soldier felt good against Echo. So you go Soldier on Echo, farm Visor, use Visor, kill the enemy Echo, and go about your day. Kill the enemy Mercy and stuff. Visor was just really strong in general. So I think Soldier is pretty good against Echo if you're having trouble dealing with her. The Visor is an extreme hard counter to the hero that wants to sit in the skybox, right? And she is so squishy that... And also the heal station really helps Soldier live, because it just helps you stay above half HP, and helps your teammates as well stay above half HP so they don't get put in that beam range. Beyond that, the DPS didn't seem that good. Ashe seems like she has potential, but nobody really played Ashe. A lot of heroes seem like they have potential on DPS. Support, but it's hard to compete with the tank ults or the support ults. I feel like the DPS is going to be more situational to copy a DPS. But I think copying Ana felt insanely good, because Echo ult lasts 15 seconds for the copy. So on Ana, you're going to use... If you instantly throw nade, attempt to sleep, then by the time just before your copy ends, you're going to have another nade and another sleep. So Ana's cooldowns are kind of perfect. Like, you get 2 cycles of Ana's cooldowns. You're almost certainly going to get a nano off. I mean, 100% you get a nano off if you live 15 seconds. Like, you better. I mean, it's not hard to farm. I don't think you can get 2 nanos because of the way nano works. Maybe you could if you did it perfectly. It's possible. Ana felt like the best support to copy. I think Brig was really good too, just because Brig is crazy, and getting Rally is the most important part of Brig's kit, and the fact that you farm Rally in 5 seconds is pretty strong. Zen seemed decent, but just decent. Like, I didn't love Zen unless you really needed the trance for some reason. I don't know. It didn't seem that good. Morris seemed decent as well, but again, situational. I feel like you only wanted to be Moira in those scrappy fights where Moira is actually a strong hero, where both teams are down players and Moira's incredible survivability makes her good. Moira is reliable in the sense that you're almost always going to get the coalescence off if you copy Moira. So that's definitely good. But yeah, so those are my thoughts on the hero copying as far as what's strong, what's not. I imagine in competitive play, Lucio could be really dominant to pick up because charging a fast beat and then like using the beat really aggressively could be really nasty. But it's also a little like you have like an extra Lucio or whatever, so you're not really going to do that much damage for the beat. And it's not necessarily free to farm the beat. Like you have to like heal amp your teammates or whatever, and it's maybe a little hard to copy the enemy Lucio. Yeah, so those are my thoughts on copying. I think, copying Mei is probably obscene as well, just because the male is really good. Reaper could be good, but a little... no, Reaper should be really strong, right? I would think. I'm not sure, though. The copy. I didn't see much Reaper gameplay, but you just be able to ult really fast, and that'd be good. And the Wraith form, obviously, makes it hard for them to pick off your Reaper. What to say about the kit? It feels like the key combo that you need to be looking for is you use shift, ideally with the super jump tech where you cancel the shift instantly and hold space and you go flying. But even if you don't, you generally, no matter where, you want to start generally initiating with shift, and then on your way down, ideally you actually want to let the shift end and then float down on an enemy so that the shift is back up before you expose your position by killing somebody. But basically, you want to get in the skybox, get above their head, get on top of them with the flight. Then you want to lead in with some sticky bombs. Ideally, before they notice you, that's the best time to sticky bomb them so that you can like put a bunch of bombs. You put 5 bombs on somebody, they're just dead, right? You don't have to use any other skills. The bombs are very hard to land on enemies that are actively dodging you. So you really do want to use them on tanks or on enemies that are unaware. Or if an enemy's retreating, you can like sticky behind them and just use the splash. But in general, it's shift, sticky bomb, and then beam to finish kill, which kind of makes sense, right? The beam is the ultimate finisher ability in Overwatch. Like it has direct benefit from the enemy being low, which I think is a unique mechanic at this point in Overwatch. The glide is definitely important, underrated skill, because if you fly up to the skybox and then you just slow gliding down, it's very quiet, so you can sneak up on people that way. I won a lot of fights like that. Just sneak up on somebody, bomb them, give them a huge 5 sticky bombs, left click them a few times, and then I'm like, I have my flight back again, and then I go for somebody else, and I just holding this beam in reserve. Yeah, having the beam in reserve is pretty important, and the beam is also the most important thing when you're dueling in Echo. That's another thing I should talk about because this hero is so strong. I think that it will be played a ton when it goes live, and it's a new hero, so every new hero is always played a ton. The big things to look out for are you basically need to use your flight as like a juking ability on the enemy. Ideally, you want to have your flight up when their flight ends. So in the mirror match Echo, I don't think you actually want to super jump so much because the flight is very, very good at dodging stuff like sticky bombs and in general just being really evasive. So what the combo you want to look for is find that right click, put the sticky bombs on them, and then put some left clicks on them and just go for the beam. But the other key is you have to know how many bombs did you stick. There's no point in throwing the beam out if you only stuck 1 or 2 bombs because they won't be below half. And then it's better to just keep left clicking and just fight them in close range with the left click. But yeah, the sticky bombs, if you land enough bombs, I think it was like, I don't know what the threshold is. I think it might be 3 to 4 bombs. Like if you land 3, they would be just below half, but if they're being pocketed, it won't really be enough. But if you land 4, it'd be like consistently enough to get them below half. And then basically if you get a good enough stick on the enemy Echo, you just want to immediately pop the beam and try and finish them off. Because both Echoes it's not like the Pharah duel where it's like slow and steady and you're playing the space. It's not like that at all in my experience. It felt like all about being really aggressive. Maybe though with a full team, everyone playing intelligently, you might be forced to play a little bit slower because if the enemy team is supporting their Echo, you can't just like jump in on her when she still has all of her skills up. She can dodge and she can counter kill you and get saved by her team. So I do think that duel will be really exciting to watch and really fun. The left click, the biggest thing about the left click is you just got to remember it's a projectile, right? So it's like leading your target, but also considering the AoE aspect of it, or not the AoE, but the fact that it's a triangle that spreads. So you want to aim for like center mass. If you aim exactly center mass, then one projectile is going to hit the head. Obviously, if you're point blank, then you can aim for the head, but center mass is really important because you want to land all 3 of your projectiles. And the other thing I realized was that The left click is really, really insane DPS. Like, obviously, the sticky bombs are an incredible amount of burst. But the beam is like, if they're not below half, then don't use the beam. The beam is terrible compared to this. Like, the beam takes 1 second for enemies greater than 50% HP. The beam takes 1 whole second to deal the amount of damage that Tri-Shot deals in 1 shot. And I don't know what the exact rate of fire is, but it feels like it's shooting 3 to 4 times a second on the Tri-Shot. So technically, the Tri-Shot can be like 2 to 3 times stronger than the beam. The beam is only better if you're getting that under 50%. So what I realized was, if you start beaming and then you realize, wait, the enemy is not, like, you're not getting the purple beam, the enemy is above half health and they're not dropping low enough, like they're getting healed, then just cancel the beam. Press E again and just start left clicking again, because you don't ever want to get caught like using this skill when the left click would just do more damage, right? All right, y'all. That's going to be the end of the stream for now. Those are my thoughts on Echo. Hope you guys enjoyed all the Echo gameplay today. It was a fun stream. I feel like we kind of popped off, fragged a lot. This hero is really fun. I actually quite enjoy it. I think this will be a very fun hero for me to, like, I don't know, one trick, but like, just make it my main hero.
Adjusting angle of attack.
I want to see if I can get the super jump one more time, and then I'm going to go.
Type Echo.
All right.
The key is the lateral side. Like, it's alarmingly fast. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed the stream. If you had fun, you enjoyed it, remember to check me out on Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube especially. We got new YouTube videos coming out. We just had one come out today. We got a new coming out every week, and we're gonna up the tempo now that everything's all set for YouTube. So definitely check me out on YouTube. Sub to that channel if you haven't already, and also join our stream Discord to hang out with fellow fans of the stream if you would like to do that.